Rome versus Egypt. Who would win? What if two of the most legendary civilizations went head-to-head in a battle for ancient dominance? One forged an empire with steel and law, Rome. The other built monuments aligned with the stars, Egypt. Imagine Roman legions clashing with Egyptian chariots. Julius Caesar facing Cleopatra. Who would win in the ultimate showdown of ancient superpowers? Stick around as we break down their armies, leaders, innovations, and secrets, and don't miss the final verdict. And hey, like epic historical battles? Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell for more imaginative face-offs from Bright Mind Station. Rome's ruthless order versus Egypt's desert deception. When it comes to military power, Rome's legions were a force to be reckoned with. Their soldiers were well-trained, brutally efficient, and marched in perfect formations that could crush any enemy in their path. The Roman gladius, short and deadly, was designed for close combat, and their use of shields and tight phalanxes gave them superior defense on the battlefield. But Egypt wasn't helpless. Their military revolved around chariots, archers, and clever formations. Pharaohs like Ramesses II led massive armies and were known to use both terrain and divine symbolism to intimidate their enemies. Egyptian warriors were agile and relied on ambush tactics, especially in desert warfare. While Rome was powerful in brute force, Egypt played the long game, making use of terrain, weather, and deception. Would you rather march in the world's most disciplined army or strike from the shadows in the desert? Let us know in the comments. Rome or Egypt? Who built it better? Rome's roads versus Egypt's pyramids. Rome built massive stone roads stretching thousands of miles, aqueducts that carried water into cities, and amphitheaters that still stand today. Their concrete was so durable that many of their buildings have survived 2 millennia. Roman engineers were obsessed with functionality and scale. Egypt, however, worked miracles with fewer tools and even less machinery. The Great Pyramid of Giza still baffles modern architects. Their temples were aligned with the stars and the Nile's cycles. They mastered advanced irrigation systems long before Rome rose to power. Egypt's genius lay not in brute efficiency, but in timeless harmony with nature. If the contest was about monumental beauty and astronomical knowledge, Egypt might just edge ahead. Which construction blows your mind more? Rome's concrete highways or Egypt's pyramid precision? Tell us what you think below. Julius versus Cleopatra, rulers or rivals? Rome produced some of history's most notorious rulers: Julius Caesar, Augustus, and Marcus Aurelius. They were fierce generals, master politicians, and in some cases, near gods in the eyes of their people. Rome's power often rested on the shoulders of its strongest leaders and its greatest betrayals. Egypt's pharaohs were more than kings. They were considered living gods. From Ramses the Great to Cleopatra, Egyptian leaders commanded loyalty through both religion and tradition. Cleopatra herself was not only brilliant, but spoke multiple languages, formed powerful alliances, and nearly changed the course of Roman history. If this was a battle of charisma and divine right, Egypt's god-kings might hold their own against Rome's iron-fisted rulers. If you could take leadership advice from one ancient icon, who would it be? Julius Caesar or Cleopatra? Comment your choice and why. Who shaped the world more? Rome's laws versus Egypt's magic. Roman culture spread like wildfire across Europe, from legal systems to architecture and Latin language. Even today, many of our political structures echo Rome. Their mythology, literature, and sculpture have shaped Western civilization, yet Egyptian culture may be even more enduring. Hieroglyphics, massive tombs, the Book of the Dead. Egypt built its legacy to last for eternity. Their obsession with the afterlife created an entire world of rituals, artifacts, and spiritual depth that continues to intrigue the world. While Rome influenced the modern age, Egypt enchanted it. If the battlefield was cultural immortality, Egypt may have already won. Which legacy still shapes our world today? Rome's legal systems or Egypt's deep spiritual traditions? Share your thoughts in the comments. Grain versus gold. Which economy ruled? Rome's economy was built on conquest and taxation. As their empire expanded, wealth flowed into the capital. Gold from Spain, grain from Egypt, and slaves from conquered lands kept the Roman economy booming. Rome built markets, ports, and highways that connected the known world. Egypt's economy was rooted in the power of the Nile. It gave life to their agriculture, dictated their seasons, and enabled trade with Africa, Asia, and beyond. While Egypt wasn't as expansionist, their economy was incredibly stable. Their gold mines were legendary, and their grain exports once fed all of Rome. Ironically, Egypt's wealth made it a target for Roman conquest. Would you rather control the empire's food supply or hold the keys to ancient gold mines? Let us know your pick. Divine emperors or living gods? Roman religion was a blend of politics and tradition. Their gods were modeled after the Greeks but served a practical purpose, keeping the state strong. Emperors were often deified, adding a layer of control to belief. Egyptian religion, however, was deeply spiritual and symbolic. Gods like Osiris, Ra, and Anubis ruled not just the sky but the afterlife itself. The rituals were complex, and temples were sacred portals to divine realms. Religion in Egypt was both a personal journey and a state mechanism. If divine favor determined victory, Egypt's mystical system may have swayed the outcome in their favor. Which system speaks to you more? Rome's politics disguised as religion, or Egypt's mystical journey through the afterlife? Spies, scrolls, and secrets. While Rome is known for its legions and conquests, few remember its use of spies and informants. The Roman Empire had a vast network of scouts, envoys, and secret agents who gathered intelligence across provinces. Emperors like Augustus used this information to stop rebellions before they began and to manipulate politics behind the scenes. Roman commanders rarely marched blind. They often knew the terrain, troop numbers, and weaknesses of their enemies before even drawing swords. Egypt, on the other hand, had mastered secrecy in other ways. Hidden messages inscribed in tombs, magical incantations, and coded scrolls guarded temple knowledge. Cleopatra herself was a skilled manipulator of information, using political alliances and charm to control powerful Roman leaders. Egyptian priests were gatekeepers of ancient knowledge and state secrets, and the pharaoh's court was known for its discreet diplomacy. In the shadow war of strategy and deception, both sides were more than capable, but Rome had the edge in raw intelligence operations. Would you rather be a Roman informant feeding intelligence to emperors or an Egyptian priest guarding ancient knowledge? Tell us below. The genius of empire. Rome's systems or Egypt's science? Innovation didn't always happen on the battlefield. Rome developed laws that still influence our justice systems today, and their calendar forms the basis of our modern one. Public baths, heated floors, concrete roads. Roman innovation shaped how we live, govern, and build. But Egypt was pioneering millennia earlier. They invented one of the earliest writing systems, used surgical tools in ancient medicine, and charted the stars with remarkable precision. Their architectural knowledge remains unmatched, with the pyramids still defying full explanation. The difference lies in purpose. Rome innovated to expand and rule, while Egypt innovated to understand life, death, and the cosmos. Both civilizations were brilliant, but Egypt may have held the deeper wisdom of the universe. Who were the real pioneers? Rome with their world-shaping systems or Egypt with their cosmic knowledge? Share your answer in the comments. So, who would truly win in this battle of ancient empires? Rome had the steel, the strategy, and the soldiers. But Egypt had the wisdom, the wonder, and the will of the gods. In a direct military confrontation, Rome's legions might overwhelm Egypt's forces with ruthless precision. But in a longer, drawn-out conflict of culture, endurance, and legacy, Egypt may slowly but surely pull ahead. Perhaps the real answer is this: Rome conquered with might, but Egypt conquered time. Which empire would you bet on in this ultimate showdown? Would Roman discipline crush Egyptian mysticism? Or would the gods of the Nile rise in defense of their sacred land? Let us know in the comments below. If you loved this epic historical battle, be sure to like this video, subscribe to Bright Mind Station, and hit the bell so you don't miss our next clash of civilizations. Until next time, keep imagining the past and stay curious with Bright Mind Station.